so uncomfortable.
And then the more we can do our scores or
Yeah, they're all
off to
in
the
there,
presses.
so you don't have to suck up anymore.
That's what
You want to go first?
Sure, yeah.
Am I gonna play again? Stop
We'll try to keep this brief, or at least I will. No, I didn't. I wasn't.
You'll be stabbed later. With the blue knife.
My name's Evan Shaw. I'm a practicing attorney. Went to Wayne State Law School, doing commercial litigation and employment law currently for a small firm in Farmington Hills. Wright Beamer, former mock trialer. So it's nice to be on this side of the table now. You know, I think we're in October, obviously. Is there room for improvement? Yes, absolutely. But I think both teams are right where they need to be for this time of year. The attorneys showed a lot of polish, a lot of class, and the witnesses, for the most part, were competent. I think, you know, some big picture things. I think in general, you know, attorneys continue to learn the rules of evidence, continue to work on knowing the objections, knowing when to make the objections. I think there were some times where there were objection opportunities available and you didn't make the objections. Don't ever allow an entire direct to pass without making an objection. Even just object to the form of the question. Try to get even a narrative objection there. Is it kind of ticky-tack to do that? Well, maybe, maybe not, but you've got to try to break it up, and you've got to at some point test the ability of the opposing attorney. Make sure that they know their stuff. Maybe they don't even know their stuff, and you can trip them up on a pretty basic objection in here. So part of mock trial, a big part of mock trial, is knowing the rules of evidence, being able to articulate objections, and then being able to argue objections. If you don't make the objections, I don't know whether you can argue them or not. So if the objection is at least has some arguable basis, make the objection. Even if you're going to lose, even if you know that you're going to lose because it's party opponent or something like that, fine. But just get that objection out there. It's about making the objections and being able to at least argue them. So I saw that a few times. I'll give an example. When the CEO, who did a great job by the way, was up here with that great graph, that nice demonstrative, and giving us, you know, doing mathematical equations and all this stuff. I mean, is that within the perception of a CEO? I don't know, maybe not.
Yeah,
but
why is the CEO testifying to generally accepted accounting principles?
Right.
That's so bizarre.
Graphs to fix or adjust numbers, make it clear. That's what I said.
I have to adjust the numbers.
Sorry.
I think Shannon.
This is
You
mine.
need to adjust your numbers.
Oh.
So, all that to say.
You need to adjust your numbers.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to be, so, I'm coming out as so rude. No, so, you know, as to that, so what I'd like to see is an objection there. Object under, you know, Rule 702, that this is not an expert witness, that this person hasn't been established as an expert. Give that objection out there. Maybe you're gonna lose on that eventually, but you need to be able to make that objection. And then there were a couple of relevancy type objections and form objections. Get those things out there. But all in all, this round here was, you guys in general did a better job than the teams that we saw earlier today in terms of making
Giving us
sure
a
that,
story.
yeah, that we understand the big picture of what's going on here. Because we don't know the case. So we're depending on you to make these things clear. So I think we understood what was going on, the significance of the wristbands, more so this round than we did in the earlier round. So you guys did a nice job with the big picture stuff. Continue to do that. Continue to work on your themes. Each team had this three-word thing going on. I really like how, you know, you were able to, on rebuttal, you were able to try to use that against them. Always be looking for opportunities to use the other side's stuff against them. Some comments on the witnesses in general. I think the witness is just the biggest thing for a lot of the witnesses here. Continue to review your affidavit, learn the affidavit inside and out. You should be, you know, taking the affidavit, you know, to bed or to the bathroom or wherever to read this thing all the time is my point. You read it, take it on the bus, read this thing as much as you can to learn it, and then you're ready for the really tough questions. Don't allow yourself to get impeached. You gotta figure out a way to creatively weasel yourself out of some of these really, really detrimental facts. So that's just a big thing that's gonna come with a lot more practice, so by the time you get to regionals, you're gonna be able to, do some, judo with this stuff and use the facts against the other team, or at least minimize the damage. You don't want the blows to come at you, you don't want to absorb the damage, you want to deflect the damage. And there were a few instances where the witnesses on cross ended up taking even more damage than they needed to take by, accepting some of these premises that the other side was putting out, or just not quite, figuring a way to weasel out of this stuff. You don't want in any way to give credence to what the other side's story is. And I think it may even come out, I think someone may have even said, well, this is our story, that's their story. This is the other side of the story. Well, another way to think of it is not just the other side of the story. This other side is telling some totally different story that's just completely bogus. We're telling a different story. You don't want to give any credence to the other side. So all that to say, in general, nice job. Best wishes to both teams.
Thanks for making us understand the story.
Yeah.
My name is Shanna Kaminsky. I'm a practicing attorney. My practice primarily focuses on bankruptcy. Yes, I'm involved in the city's case and I hate my life right now. Previous to that, I used to be a prosecutor in Grundy County, Illinois. Yay, prosecution.
I hope your pro-prosecution bias didn't.
There is no pro-prosecution bias whatsoever, but that's okay. There's a reason why I'm not a prosecutor anymore. Anyway, so I just echo what what Evan already stated. And one thing was, I think the prosecution had a really good impeachment at one point during the case, but they didn't hit it home. After you get the impeachment, you want to ask them again. So, were you lying then or were you lying now? I mean, that's so cliche, but something like, so is it your, so isn't it true that, whatever, re-ask the question or whatever it is to just really hit home. I mean, bask in the glory of your impeachment. As far as the witnesses are concerned, just remember you're here to make your attorney look good, really. I mean, obviously you're here to give us testimony and to, bring your character out or whatever, but you're also there to make your attorney look good. So do whatever you have to do to, give them that testimony that they need. Also, on cross-examination, if you could only try to only elaborate when necessary to clarify your testimony. So, I mean, if it truly is a yes or no question, just answer yes or no. But I mean, if there's something that you can legitimately throw in there that is part of your testimony that will clarify your testimony, but will also bolster your side's case, then do it. But don't just try to weasel around it just to weasel around it. I mean, that's kind of gets annoying a little bit. So I didn't see a lot of that in here, but just as a general. And you guys did a really good job. Like I said, the story was much easier to follow here. So you guys are in a really good spot, I think. So thank you.
Well, thank you. We appreciate you judging.